Hey friends, let's do a quick and easy video tonight. We are using the glazed donut from Paint Pixie. Got it in a big bottle. We're going to take that and paint the back of this block. This is one that I found in my stash. We are recycling this. When you have pieces that you're not using anymore, or maybe it tore or fell apart or anything like that, then just take it apart and reuse it. I'm all about recycling, so this is going to be a quick recycled. This is just a little piece of wood that was probably picked up at the dollar store, or it might have been a scrap wood in my stash. I'm not sure, but we're going to paint that up with a glazed donut from Paint Pixie. And I'm going to put that to the side. Let's go ahead and paint our little heart here because we are going to make like a little mixed media. So let's get it painted. And this little heart came from my friend Leah. She did cut it out on her laser machine. Isn't that sweet? I know it was a little bit off camera there, y'all. I was trying to paint. Sometimes it's hard to paint from a certain angle. Get a little bit more. All right, we'll give that a coat. It won't take long for these to dry at all. Just want to come on and do a quick craft for you. Okay, we'll let that dry. And then we've got a little bird. This also was something that Leah sent me that came from her machine. And we are using the French Macaroon. Isn't that a gorgeous blue? We're going to be doing these in blues. So let me get the bird painted. This is going to be very simple, easy for you to do. Just grab you some pieces. Okay, let's just go ahead and do right there. And let's go ahead and paint the beak and put a little eye on it. So let's paint the beak in a little bit of chocolate souffle. Let's get a little bit of that out on a palette. And sometimes your paint gets a little ooky. You just have to get that out. I'm just going to need just a dab of that. And let me wipe that off. Okay. That over there, and we're going to take our little bitty brush for that. Let me find my little bitty brush. I think it might be right. No, that's not the one I wanted. Here it is. So just going to take a little bitty brush, just one of the the little liner brushes. And what it's going to do is little beak in brown. There we go. And then now let's put a little eye. And I'm just going to take the end of this tool and dot it in the paint. And we're just going to put him a little eye right there. That's all he needs. He or she, either one. And I think that'll do it. Might need to touch up that blue paint just a little bit right there. Looks like I got a little bit. Let me go back with a little bit more. I touched it before it was actually dry. We're going to dry that up. There we go. Okay. And then you can paint a wing if you want to. I'm just going to make this very vintage, not worrying about a wing on it. Let's dry these up. Make sure they're good and dry. I do see we do need to put a little bit of paint right up in here a little bit where it came through, the back came through a little bit. And I'm okay because we're going to put probably put some wax or oxide on it anyway. But let's get it good and dry. And it's just going to be a vintage look, very easy, very simple. I think it's this wood. It's just not wanting to coat it well. It's good paint. Looks like the wood. It could have had something on it. I don't know where it came from. When we cleaned up, I found it. Okay, let's let that dry a little bit, and let's go to our little heart here. I believe it's dry. I'm going to just do a little bit of stamping right here on the heart. I'm using some tumbled glass distress oxide, and this stamp came from Amazon. I do have it. It's just a little French wording, and I do have this listed on my link tree. And I'm just putting a little bit of stamp on there for something just a little different. And you see it's very pale, but I really like that. I like that. Now I think what we'll do is maybe we'll take just a little bit and just put a little bit on our edge here as well. Just on the edge of our heart. Try not to touch that because it's still a little wet. We'll just put a little bit of the oxide, a little bit more than I wanted right there, but that's okay. I'm just going to put a little bit on the edge here. I'll put a little bit more up in here so that'll kind of match that bottom. Okay, we've got that piece done. All right, the first thing that we're going to do, let's make sure that this is good and dry. I see one little place here. Let me get that. We're going to put this little heart that I cut out. This is a little piece of material that I coffee stained. It's one of the vintage materials. We're going to use it. And we're just going to add, let's see, I think we can just put that down with a little bit of fabric tack. A little bit of fabric tack and just a spot or two of maybe some hot glue. We're just going to take our fabric tack right here. I'm going to move this up out of our way a little bit so you can see our heart. I'm just going to go around. Any kind of fabric glue that you have. Just going to put some pieces right here. Now, if you do use hot glue, you don't want a lot because you don't want it to kind of stick up. And sometimes hot glue will make it stick up. Always wipe the end off when you get through because otherwise it'll get yucky on the edge of this glue. Okay, just a fuzz of the hot glue. And this is the Gorilla Glue. Just putting just a little bit here and there, but I don't want it to stick up a lot, so I'm just barely putting some on here. Okay, let's see how that'll do. Let's get our piece back. Just gonna be very careful with this. Somewhere I have a little, here it is. Let's just use this just in case we don't get any hot glue on us. We're just going to put this right here on our piece here. And I just cut a heart out of the material. Okay, and let's just press it down. And I'm just going to take a little bag here and give it a little press. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to take a little hot glue and put our little heart on there. This is going to be very simple tonight, but easy for you to do. Just grab you some pieces. You could put a little, if you want it to be a little fancy, you could put a little lace on there or some ribbon. Put this here in the middle. So you could add a little piece of ribbon or lace if you like to. Now our little bird's going to go on here. Let's put it a little bit of some greenery for it to sit on. Just a little bit for it to sit on right there. You don't have to do this part. It's totally up to you. Because I want it to have just a little bit of greenery. That might be a little too much, so I'm going to take a little bit of that off. Now he's got just a little, he just made, you know, they just make nests everywhere, so he made him she made her a little nest. I'm going to sit the bird right there. And then I'm going to take, I'm going to put it kind of right there on top. Then I'm going to okay. She's going to go right here on top of that. Just sitting right there. I love that blue. That just lightens it up a little bit different. Okay. Now let's take a little bit of some Sweet Annie. Let's see if we can just take just a little bit of this at a time and put some of that on there. Now I do keep this in a plastic bag to help it last longer. Now let's put a little glue. We just want a couple of little flowers, just a couple. And let's see if we can put a little bit of that. It smells divine as well. If you've never had the scent of Sweet Annie, some people like it, some people don't. I love the scent of it. Okay, I'm going to put one more little piece right there. Okay, let's put a little glue under here. And now she's just got a sweet little nest. Let's put her a little piece right here. Just a little bit of Sweet Annie right there as well. Now she's got her little nest right in there. That's what we have so far. Get the glue stuff off. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the Distress Oxide in the Vintage Photo, and we're going to go around the edges and just give it a little bit more of a vintage antique look. You can put as much or as little as you want. You can also use your finger to kind of rub some off. If that's too much, just use your finger, rub it off. Put a little hot glue on that as well. Never know. Okay, we're just going around this whole thing. Just a little bit of our oxide. Oxide or wax, either one you want to use. I would use the oxide just to give it a little bit of an antique look. And then you can go around a little bit on the edges of your fabric as well and darken that up because we want it to look very vintage. And you can put just a little bit on your heart. I'm not going to put it as heavy on it, just a little bit here and there. And then just a little bit down our bird. Just a tad, just barely touch it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit right in there. And that's something that all of you can make. I have a little piece of wood on the bottom so that it's a little shelf sitter. And I will just sit that up on a shelf or in a tray. Isn't that sweet? If you wanted to add some lace or some ribbon on here, you can. I just wanted to make it very simple for you. Just take you a few elements and you have a quick craft. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a little heart and that bell. Thank you.